Hi, I'm Gina Narcissi, and today I'm catching up with Mark Haranas, Assistant News Editor on CRN In Depth, where we cover a big story happening now with the reporter who covered the news. Mark, thanks for joining us.
Well, thanks for having me, Gina.
Tech giant Google this week made a change that would cut Google Workspace renewal margins by 40% in a move that Google partners fear will significantly eat into their profits. The channel margin changes for Google Workspace renewals are now 12%, down from 20% previously, as the company works to prioritize new business over renewals. So Mark, why is Google doing this, and what are they saying in response?
Yeah, so there's more than 3 billion users and over 10 million paying customers on Workspace right now. And Workspace is Gmail, Google Meet, Google Docs, Google Drive, so they're very popular. So Google's cutting these margins 40% on Workspace. They're saying we want to move all this channel funding to net new Workspace customers. We don't really want to incentivize the partners too heavily on renewals because that's kind of run-of-the-mill for us now. We want our channel dollars to go after net new Workspace customers. So they're moving the funding towards new customers, specifically maybe trying to get Microsoft Office customers to get on Workspace. That's what they're doing. They're saying we don't really want to incentivize renewals right now. We want to push net new Workspace business. And that's a hit and miss with some partners.
I can imagine. And so Mark, you talked to a handful of channel partners. What are partners saying about the renewal margin cuts on Google Workspace?
Yeah, so I like you said, I spoke to several partners who are very upset about it. And they were talking about how these margins, they use these renewal margins, these profits, that's their marketing dollars. That's how they pay their bills. So this cut is very, very real for some partners. One partner told me this, quote, he says, this is not a 40% to some margin that's a small part of the business. This is a 40% cut to our bottom line. And some people are rearranging their entire business because of this very quickly drop in incentives. And when I say quickly, it's a 30-day notice they gave these partners, 30 days. Sometimes they give them 6 months to a year to 18 months. They only gave them 30 days. And that got partners riled up as well. I had another partner who told me, we've been with Google for 15 years now, and this is the first time ever we're going to be at a negative. As of April 1st, when this went into effect, they're now at a negative. That 30-day notice, he says, was insane. So they don't like the quick timing. They don't think Google understands how much of an impact this has on many, many partners, that renewal profit was how they kind of were able to run their business, really. There's a disconnect, I would say, between Google executives and a lot of these partners who are upset about this. Google's saying renewals aren't the hardest thing to win. Some of them think it's very easy. It's just signing a piece of paper. But partners say there's a big disconnect because it is hard to renew a Google Workspace customer when you have Microsoft 365 nipping at the heels. That was a big disconnect that when I'm talking to partners and when talking to Google execs, is that Google thinks renewals are easy for partners. It's not that big a deal. Partners are saying it's hard to renew a contract, especially with a competitor like Microsoft 365. So that's a big disconnect I see.
Yeah, absolutely. And so what's ahead for Google and Google partners here?
Google Cloud Next is the biggest Google Cloud event of the year. That's happening next week, Monday, in Vegas. So there's going to be a lot of talk about this and probably some new AI features in Workspace, I'm guessing. Google Gemini is Google's big AI. They've already injected a lot of that into Workspace. That's what they're trying to actually help partners. Hey, go to customers now. We have a lot more AI in Workspace now. Incentive dollars, that's where it's kind of going. These channel dollars are going into Workspace, new customers with that Gemini, new Gemini carrot, if you will, hanging in front of them. So a lot of stuff is going to happen in the next 2 weeks. There's going to be some very upset partners at Google Next that are going to make their voices heard, I think. But Google's also going to unleash a bunch of new, probably Workspace features to help partners go after new clients, especially Microsoft clients.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see just with the timing of the show, how this plays out. And I know you'll stay right on top of it.
Yeah, CRN is going to be there.
Perfect. So to read more about the news, head to crn.com. And thanks so much for joining me, Mark.
Thank you, Gina.